Macmillan Audio presents Resistant by Michael Palmer. Read by Robert Petkoff. One of the duties of the state is that of caring for those of its citizens who find themselves the victims of such adverse circumstances as makes them unable to obtain even the necessities for mere existence without the aid of others. That responsibility is recognized by every civilized nation. To these unfortunate citizens, aid must be extended by government, not as a matter of charity, but a matter of social duty. Franklin D. Roosevelt, Fireside Chat, 1933. Throughout the course of human history, people have endured uncertainties brought on by illness, poverty, disability, and aging. Economists and sociologists take delight in labeling these inevitabilities as threats to one's economic security, when in truth, they are the price each individual must pay to fund their existence. Lancaster R. Hill, 100 Neighbors, Sawyer River Books, 1939. Prologue. A heavy pall had settled over Boston's White Memorial Hospital. Becca Seabury's condition was deteriorating. The hospital grapevine was operating at warp speed, sending the latest rumors through the wards and offices of the iconic institution, chosen 2 years in a row as the #1 general hospital in the country. This morning, in all likelihood, the decision would be made, a decision that almost everyone associated with White Memorial, from housekeeping to the laboratories to the administration, was taking personally. Before long, the team of specialists, orthopedic, medical, and infectious disease, would either choose to continue battling the bacteria that the press and others had begun calling the doomsday germ, or they would opt to capitulate and amputate the teen's right arm just below the shoulder. In room 837 of the Landru building, a group of carefully selected physicians and nurses had been assembled. At the doorway to the room, as well as at every elevator and stairway, security was keeping the media at bay, along with any but essential personnel. From the day more than 2 weeks ago when Becca was operated on to clean out infection from the site of her elbow repair, she had been front-page news. Flesh-eating bacteria complicating cheerleaders' healing. The 17-year-old, captain of her school's championship team, had shattered her elbow in a spectacular fall during the state finals. The violent injury was chronicled on YouTube and immediately went viral, making Becca something of a household name around the globe. A successful reconstruction by Dr. Chandler Beebe, the chief of orthopedics, followed by several days of IV antibiotics, and the conservative decision was made to wait one more day and discharge. That was when Becca Seabury's fevers began. The Landru building, less than 2 years old, was the latest jewel in the expanding crown of White Memorial. The 8th floor featured 4 negative-pressure isolation rooms, airtight spaces, except for a gap beneath the door, with a ventilation system that brought more air into the room than it allowed out. By the time a nurse escorted Becca's family to the waiting area, there were 7 in gloves, gowns, and hoods in the spacious room. Chandler Beebe, 6'6", towered over the rest. Nearly lost among them, motionless on her back, was a pale, fair-skinned young woman with hair the color of spun gold. Her lips were dry and cracked, and the flush in her cheeks looked anything but healthy. An IV with a piggybacked plastic bag of meds was draining into her good arm. The temperature reading on her chart was 102.5 degrees. It had been as high as 104. Her blood pressure was 85/50. Chandler Beebe, once a guard for the Harvard University basketball team, was generally unflappable.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?